Right now, before a big moment, your stomach gets weird. Not painful, not sick, just fluttery. A soft electric swarm somewhere behind your belly button. You felt it before a speech, before a first date, before opening a message you weren't sure you wanted to read. We call them butterflies. But there are no butterflies. There's no flapping, no wings, no insects living in your gut. So what is actually happening down there? And why does your body do this exact strange thing the second your brain senses something big? The truth is, those butterflies are a message. A very old message from a very old system, written long before you knew what a speech was. And once you understand who is actually talking, that feeling never feels random again. Here's the better question buried inside the obvious one. Not, why does my stomach feel weird when I'm nervous, but why does my body treat a job interview like a life or death emergency? Because that's what's really happening. Your nervous system is reacting as if something big is about to occur, and it's preparing every part of you, including the parts you don't usually think about. Including your gut, including the soft, quiet machinery you almost never notice. Your stomach and intestines are wrapped in their own enormous web of nerves. Scientists sometimes call it the enteric nervous system. And it's so dense and so independent that some researchers nickname it your second brain. It runs digestion mostly on its own. It moves food along, releases enzymes, and signals when you're full, all without you giving it a single conscious thought. But here's the strange part. This second brain is in constant conversation with the one in your skull. A sick highway of nerves, including the vagus nerve, runs between your brain and your gut, and traffic goes both ways. Your head talks to your belly, and your belly talks back. So when your brain spots something stressful, your gut hears about it almost immediately. And it reacts. Faster than you can think the word nervous. Think about what your body is actually doing in a nervous moment. Your heart speeds up, your breath gets shallow, your palms get a little damp, and your muscles tighten in a way you didn't ask for. This is your fight or flight response, an ancient survival reflex designed for a world full of predators, cliffs, and surprises that wanted to eat you. Your body doesn't really know the difference between a tighter and a presentation. It just knows something important is happening. Prepare. And one of the very first things it does is redirect resources. Blood and energy get pulled away from non-essential systems and pushed toward the muscles you might need to run or fight. Digestion in an emergency is non-essential. Your body can deal with lunch later. So your gut gets the memo to pause. Blood flow to your stomach drops. The smooth muscles in your digestive tract change their rhythm. Tiny contractions shift. The whole system kind of holds its breath. And that shift, that sudden change in a place full of nerves you usually ignore, is what you feel. That's the flutter. That's the swarm. That's the butterflies. It's not a metaphor. It's a real physical sensation produced by a very real, very fast handoff between your brain and your gut. A stress hormone called adrenaline is part of the story too. It surges into your bloodstream the moment your brain decides this matters, and it touches almost every system at once. It makes your heart pound, it sharpens your senses, and it tells your gut very clearly that now is not the time to be digesting. Here's where it gets weirder. Your gut doesn't just receive these signals, it sends them too. Scientists have found that the majority of the fibers in the vagus nerve carry information up to the brain, not down from it. Your belly is constantly reporting back, whispering about how things are going down there. Which means some of the anxiety you feel might actually start in your stomach and travel up. A bad night, a strange meal, a body that's running low on sleep, and your gut starts sending fuzzier signals. Your brain reads those signals and decides something must be wrong. Suddenly you feel uneasy, and you can't quite say why. You assumed your head was in charge. It's more of a conversation than you think. Now zoom out for a second. Imagine one of your ancestors hundreds of thousands of years ago standing very still at the edge of a clearing. Something rustles in the grass. Their heart kicks. Their breath shortens. Their stomach goes quiet and strange. That feeling, the same fluttery alertness you get before a presentation, is what kept them alive. It told the body, drop everything that isn't survival and get ready. The ones who felt it strongly noticed danger faster. They moved faster. They lived longer. So they pass that wiring on to their children, to their children's children, all the way down to you, sitting in a chair about to speak in front of 12 coworkers on a video call. Your body is running prehistoric software on a very modern problem. The grass rustling has become a calendar notification. The predator has become a hiring manager. The cliff edge has become a microphone. But the gut doesn't know the difference. It just feels the spike, and it flutters. Pause for a moment and try something. Think about a moment that made you genuinely nervous recently and notice where your attention goes in your body. Most people don't go to their head. They go to their chest, their throat, or their stomach. That's not a coincidence. Those are the regions packed with the nerves that talk loudest to your emotional brain. Your feelings have a geography, and your gut sits right at one of its busiest intersections. I'm curious about yours. When you're nervous, where do you feel it first? Belly, chest, throat, hands, somewhere else entirely? Drop a comment and tell me, because the variation between people is genuinely fascinating and I read them. Now back to the swarm. You might think butterflies are bad, a signal that something is wrong, a sign you're not ready. But the science suggests something more interesting. That same fluttery feeling shows up before things you love, too. The first day of a trip you've been planning for months. Seeing someone you have a crush on. Walking on stage to do something you actually want to do. Same chemistry, same gut shift, same butterflies. Your body doesn't really have a separate signal for exciting and scary. It has one signal for this matters, and your mind decides which label to put on it. Researchers have studied this for years. People who reframe pre-performance nerves as excitement, instead of trying to calm down, often perform better. The butterflies don't go away. The story you tell about them changes. Think about how strange that is. The exact same flutter, the exact same chemistry can feel like dread or like magic, depending on a single sentence in your head. That's not weakness. That's flexibility. Your body gives you a powerful signal, and you get to decide what it means. And here's the truly strange twist. Your gut isn't just a passive stage for your emotions. It's home to trillions of microorganisms, your gut microbiome, and there's growing evidence that those microbes influence your mood, your stress response, and maybe even your personality in small ways. This area of research is still young, and scientists are careful not to overclaim. The exact mechanisms are still being mapped, and it's a real, active debate in the field. But the picture forming is wild. You are not just a brain piloting a body, you are a conversation between a brain, a nervous system, a gut, and an invisible city of microbes, all of them voting on how you feel. Butterflies might be one of the few moments you actually hear the vote. Think about that for a second. When your stomach flutters before something important, that's billions of years of evolution. A second brain, a giant nerve highway, and a microscopic ecosystem all weighing in on a single moment of your life. No wonder it feels like something. There's a reason this sensation has its own name in almost every language. Every culture, on every continent, came up with a word for it. Because everyone everywhere has felt their belly turn into a tiny weather system right before something that mattered. You are not the first. You are part of a very long line of nervous bellies. So here's the gentle reframe. The next time your belly goes electric before a meeting, a date, a phone call, or a stage, you don't have to fight it. You can recognize it for what it is, a very old part of you, leaning forward, paying attention, saying, in the only language it has, this one counts. Your body isn't betraying you, it's preparing you. And that swarm of imaginary butterflies is really a swarm of nerves, signals, and ancient instincts all lighting up because something in your life is worth lighting up for. If this rewired the way you think about your own gut even a little, hit that like button. It genuinely helps the channel. Subscribe to Bodyquirk for more weird, true stories about the body you're sitting inside right now. And tell me in the comments about a moment when butterflies turned out to mean something good. Because I think we underestimate how often they do. The next time you feel that flutter before something that matters, you'll know. It isn't weakness. It isn't a warning. It's your oldest self, whispering up from your belly, telling you to wake up, lean in, and notice. This moment, right here, is one worth living through.